pressure the Sydney Swans have ever been under in all their contests against Greater Western Sydney. Three-quarter time against a team they're used to putting away by now, and it's just a 3-point margin. Shovels it out. Hatton tries to use his body. Cornelio scores R-level. Should they dare to dream? They need it behind to take the lead, but that'll give the ball back to Sydney. Richards hacks it clear. Kennedy leaves it behind. Hack towards goal for Greater Western Sydney. They are in front for the first time since the opening term.
They're rolling this dice, it's not working.
And Cameron, this is, no need to tell you, the biggest kick of his career, the biggest kick of Greater Western Sydney's history. Hush. The kick looks good. GWS look good. Still 3 minutes 20 left. Mumford slaps it down. Reed runs clear. Touched. Ricochet. Frost! A miracle will happen. Remember where you were the first time. Little brother hammered big brother. Patton. Hit the run in. Open goal. They're not just going to do it. They'll do it in style. But the good news is miracles do happen. The GWS have beaten the Sydney Swans for the first time ever.
Who can forget that stunning round one upset over the Sydney Swans? The Giants getting home by 32 points and wins over Carlton and Brisbane in recent weeks. The first time in the history of the club, the short history, that they've won 2 in a row. I can guarantee you the Swans will be out for revenge today. We are looking forward to an absolute beauty at the SCG. Cold and wintry conditions, very windy. Tony Shaw alongside me. Do you expect the conditions to play a part?
Well, they said they could get up to 100 kilometres an hour, Jace, which it got to that it would. But look, it's pretty protected with these new stands. But just looking forward to see how GWS stand up against the Sydney Swans, who want to make amends for what happened that first round.
Do you believe they can actually cause the boil over?
I think they can. There's a certain areas of the game that I think they can get the Swans. But, you know, this is a great unit. The only issue is the key forwards might be a problem to hold all night.
All right, well, we've got the luxury of having the coach of the Giants with us, Leon Cameron. Welcome to you, Leon.
Jason, Tony, how are you?
Now, I think the question on everyone's lips, Leon, is can you cause the boil over again?
Yeah, let's hope so. Look, I mean, obviously round one was unique, set of circumstances, the weather, stop in play, I mean, obviously our last quarter. But no, look, we feel as though our last 4 weeks, gives us a great chance tonight.
The clearances were really important. Contested possession clearances in round one. The Tigers nearly got the Swans. They got them in clearances last week, nearly got across the line. Very important. Shane Mumford returned.
Yeah, you're right, Tony. I mean, Shane's obviously the 5 games that he missed this year, we probably really struggled in that area. But he's in great form, and John Patton's actually giving him a chop out in there as well. But it's pleasing that our 4 or 5 on balls are all in good form at the moment.
Leon, a lot of firepower for the Swans. Franklin and Tippett's back in, also Goods and Reed. It can't just be up to the back 6 to stop them, can it? No,
you're exactly right. And I think that's part of it now last month is that our midfielders are working hard, pushing down the defence. Our forwards are pushing up the ground a lot better. And it's pleasing that having Tim Moore and Phil Davis back in our side. But you're right, I mean, those guys are going to have to need an enormous amount of help from our midfield.
I think but Reece Palmer, just been fantastic as a goal. Kicked 12 goals, but done some defensive jobs. Does he get one tonight?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's
maybe
his last month. Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see whether Melchesky lines up down there, whether they put McVeigh down there. I mean, obviously with Shaw out, they like to have a couple of running backs, so that's going to be interesting to see which way they go there.
Leon, been a really good couple of weeks. Let's hope the momentum continues. Good luck tonight.
Let's hope so. Cheers, guys.
And from the Giants camp to the Swans, Barry Hall has caught up with Sydney coach John Longmire.
Well, John, a big couple of ends. McGlynn's in and Tippett's a big one. A big forward up. He's been in fantastic form previous to his injury.
Yeah, it is. It's good to get both players back. Benny plays a fair bit in that midfield role, and obviously Kurt up front, so good to get those 2 players back.
How were you playing tonight? Were you likely to double team Big Mummy in the ruck? Will he find himself at times going into the ruck, Kurt Tippett?
Oh, he could do it different times, there's no doubt. I mean, Sam Reynolds spent some time there as well, and we know that Mummy's in really good form, so we'll probably need to.
And GWS been in fantastic form the past month. They've won 2 in a row for the first time. How do you beat them tonight?
Well, I mean, so how we beat teams generally is that putting enormous pressure on them. Their last month has been really good. Their stats have been fantastic the last month. And we know we need to be at our best pressure-wise to make sure we give ourselves a chance.
Get out of the cold. Good luck.
Thanks, mate.
Back to you, Jace.
It's been an amazing streak for the Swans. They've won 9 in a row. That's a season's best. And you have to go back to the 30s when South Melbourne did it. The Swans have never done it. Tippett comes back into the lineup. Also, Benny McGlynn. Out go Reece Shaw,
yes.
And Big Tom Derricks, Brandon Jack the sub.
Well, I think Reece Shaw's a bit of a loss there. I think Rampy, McVeigh, Malcheski and Layla, they've been rebounding, so they've been given that slingshot rebound from defence. Very important. I think Mike Pike's got to stand up against Shane Mumford tonight. It's really, Mumford took him to the cleaners in that first round, Jace.
Nathan Wilson, the sub for the Giants. They get Jeremy Cameron back into the lineup, which is always a bonus.
Yeah, well, they do. When Tommy Boyd goes out, I don't know whether they could have played the 3 or not. Cameron doesn't play totally as a key position player. They're going to, well, good to see Davis back at full-back. He held their team together the last fortnight.
The stage is set for an absolute cracker at the SCG tonight, and all the stars are in action. I'm not just talking about the Swans, because let's face it, the Giants have got some firepower of their own. Can the Giants spring an upset all over again? Don't miss the first bounce on the other side of the break.
Welcome back to the SCG. Time for the toss of the coin. Kieran Jack is celebrating his birthday today, turning 27 today, but unfortunately for him, he's lost the toss, so Callum Waters won. So the Giants will kick to the right of screen. As the boys mentioned before the break, a very cool, wintry, chilly night here at the SCG. We've talked about the round 1 performance of the Giants, winning that game by 32 points, kicking 6 goals in that last quarter, but their only venture here to the SCG was a completely different story. They've been here once before, and they were defeated by the Swans in a comprehensive performance by them by 129 points. So they'll be looking to do a lot better job here in this magnificent stadium on a Saturday night. Crowd building. Plenty of support for the Swans as they continue this record run, looking for their 10th win straight. And they'll continue on their journey inside the top 4. But this game will be, I think, decided at the clearances. I mean, these two teams are very good at the clearances, but that is the Giants' best part of their game. They win clearances.
And they do, and contested possessions, they smashed the Swans in that first round.
Yeah.
Look, the Swans will be ready for it. I thought they were probably a month off it. They played that way for the first 3 weeks, Matty.
Yep.
They've had a win. So, yeah, look, whether they can hold the key forwards now, GWS side, against the talls of Sydney, we'll just have to wait and see. But up the other end, if they get enough of it, and Mike Pike, I said about this man, he's got to stand up tonight against his teammate and Shane Mumford.
That's the big job, isn't it, on Mumford? I mean, all the games that the Giants have played, when Mummy's played, they've had one bad game with him when he came back from injury and he was underdone. Apart from that, they've either won or they've been competitive. Well, he is the key.
Leon Cameron said that's the way it is, because I think he makes these kids walk taller, Jace.
That stoppage differential in round 1, where they beat the Swans by 19, is the best result anyone has had in that area against Sydney this season. So if they can repeat that, they put themselves in the match.
No surprises that Davis has gone to Tippett, Moore's gone to Franklin, and Frost at the moment with Reid. We're underway, round 15 here at the SCG. The Sydney Derby, and the first possession will go to Treloar. Gave it over to Cornelio and onto the chest of Hoskin Elliott playing in front. First clearance, and first inside 50 for the Giants. Over the back it goes. Bug, just a half a fumble. Tried to get boots of ball while it was on the ground. Now another chance for him, but that goes out of bounds wide on the full.
You said no surprise, Matty. I'm a little surprised. I think Phil Davis spent time on Franklin in round 1, and he's giving away enormous mass difference against Kurt Tippett. I thought Tim Moore might have been a bit stronger in that department, but
I would think it might be the lack of running that Davis has had, and maybe needs a couple of games under his belt, but they might change around pretty quickly depending on how much supply they get.
Here's the third tall. Reid obviously playing further up the ground as the lead up, and that's not a good kick from him. That's a grubber out of bounds looking for Parker. We'll have another throw in.
Josh Hunt on Adam Good's an interesting matchup as well.
That's a tough contract for Hunt. Third man up in that situation was Ward. Smith might get a little 1-2 here, got it from Cornelio. Going back, some pressure applied here. Frost going further back. Moore, well, that's an interesting kick. But Kennedy might be next here because Davis, well, he went to shore. Sydney managed to get across. That's very hard running, and we expect that from Tomlinson. He ran from the forward 50 to get that. Pressure from Rampy.
He ran really hard, Lockie Whitfield too. He came from this wing, so that's about an 80-metre lead to get on the end of that.
Whitfield's kick. Hoping for Hoskinelli again. We know he can take a big grab. Cunningham, over him, Palmer. Quick hand Swans. Franklin missed his target. Malcheski just gets boot to ball. Inside 50, playing in front, Goods. First shot at goal here for Sydney.
It's the kick you look for as a forward. Just a little one that gives the defender absolutely no chance of spoiling.
340th game. Equaling the
kick.
Oh, gee, pulled it over towards Tippett.
Now, explain to me, Shorey, why he wouldn't feel like he could make the distance from inside the 50-metre up.
Unless that wind we were talking about, if you kick it up high, he didn't think he was going to make the distance. That's the only thing I'm thinking
he
of.
He chipped the ball and it was only about 5 or 6 metres out from goal anyway.
I'm with you.
From the clearance, Cornelio sort of laid it off to Ward. He's strong, he's tough. He gave it to Moore flirts with it. Floating towards the boundary. Classic floater there from Moore. Couldn't have done better if you'd asked him to do it.
Teddy Richards got the job on Cameron.
Just on the conditions down there, Barry. I mean, it's very windy outside the stadium. Tony mentioned it's protected a bit. What can you tell us about the wind?
It's actually not too bad inside the stadium. He's covering a lot of the grandstand, so that's a good thing for this game, but it's very, very cold.
Well, you want to tell Adam Goods that, Bazza.
GWS with the advantage?
Yeah, definitely. As you can see, the flag's up the top there. Yep. There's a quite a heavy breeze, but as I said, not too much inside the stadium.
Pike did well there, got rid of Mumford and tapped it over the top. Bug threw it. Parker been superb this season. Franklin the target. Good work, Moore just got the left hand in to stop it. Kennedy back to Davis. On the left boot, clearing kick. Cornelio's not big overhead. Spoil came from Jones. Well taken, Reid. Wants some help, wants some support. And the Giants will be happy to see that over the line, and they do.
Started well. Giants, a good indication so far. Yeah, very competitive. Clearances all apiece, 3-2 their way. Handball receives 9-3, so they're working hard, GWS. Caniglio there we can see on Kennedy.
Yep. And you got Kieran Jack and Callum Ward going together.
Two tough nuts.
Oh, boy.
There's Ward, man you just spoke of, trying to flick it out. And Laidler's happy to take it over. So once again, it's a boundary throw, and there's a bit of push and shove off the ball between Cornelio and Kennedy. Well taken by Cunningham.
Good
Parker. It was from Cornelio, the smother. Parker again. It's very hard to get free, as you'd expect in this sort of contest early in the game. Everybody's really enthusiastic.
Bit of high contact on Buck.
Kelly, the smooth-moving Kelly.
Swan's very quick to cut off the change of direction, forcing him to go up the line.
And Patton's the target. He gets rid of Grundy. Did well, the big fella, except he didn't mark it. Did everything right. Chance here, though, the Giants. Smith on the left boot. Cameron trying to work Richards under it. Richards back on it first. Cameron grabs him. This is Smith. And he goes down the line. That's just kept in by Jack. Hard for the umpire to see if it went over. Can't get past Mummy. Lucky one.
Very lucky.
Very lucky.
In the tackle, he just spun around in the tackle and dropped with the knees, and Kieran Jack, pretty smart play though.
Poor kick from Jack though, could be a turnover coming here. Kelly sweats on Grundy, might have got a trip. Laidler forced to kick quickly, should be a Giants ball, it is. Treloar looks into the middle, has some options. Dylan Shield, will they continue the big switch to the outer side? It's going to be read here by Sydney, but he's sure's okay.
It's given Sydney plenty of time to get numbers back inside the attacking 50.
It's going to set it up high. And it favours Patton second in line. Richards wraps him up, wants a free kick, looks to the umpire, nothing doing.
It's really not a great kick from Heath Shaw. The one thing you've got to do, if you're going to bomb it long, is get it to a tool that can compete for it.
He was kicking to Palmer.
I think Palmer might be tagging Nick Smith, boys, who's been in pretty good form in a defensive forward role.
There's Devon Smith with a long one to the square. Grundy
Good.
pirouetting in the square for the mark. Beautiful marks. Has a really good year here, Grundy.
Wow, him and Richard just hold that defence together. You just wonder how long they can last. They do it year in, year out.
Whoops! The kick, and that's twice. They've been under pressure coming out, and Hoskin Elliott now has pinched it.
They just don't want Heath Grundy to kick a lot.
Great start. Great start for the Giants. They haven't conceded early goals. They want to get themselves in the contest, get that belief up. And if they can get off to a good start, they'll have really good memories about that round 1 clash, regardless of how good Sydney's form has been over the last couple of months.
Hoskin Elliott, 12 goals, 9 for the season. A relatively easy kick. 30 metres out, slide angle, terrible kick.
Didn't kick through it at all.
No momentum in that, was it?
Look, there is a bit of breeze out there, which is going to make some players uncomfortable, but he just did not kick through the ball at all, just tried to guide
it through. So both teams having their opportunities, but the Giants have the first score. Now away go the Swans. Jack, not his best kick, but onto the chest of Franklin. Moved it quickly, moved it beautifully. Chance for McGlynn. Knocked off it by Davis. He's up again. Handball comes out. Lloyd picks it up. Around the corner he goes. Can they make them pay coast to coast? They can't. 1 point apiece.
Gee, Benny McGlynn is a dangerous player. Good
Runs
kick
hard.
in the space. Should nearly have marked that, but when he didn't, I thought he nearly got leg too as he was getting up with the ball not in the area.
Been an important player for them this year, not just as a forward. His work in the midfield.
Defensively. And in midfield it means that Kieran Jack can play forward a lot more.
Yeah, he's been terrific. Giants aiming for Mumford. Almost got it. Kelly, front and square. Over to Moore. Again, he goes to floater.
It's yours.
The big floater. Catch that one. That one up very high. That might have hit the roof if it was an Etihad. Laidler, Grundy. Back to Richards, facing his goal. Spots Malcheski with a bit of room. And speaking of room, what about this for Lloyd? Again through the middle. Drives it in long, and he wanted Tippett. Kicks it over his head. Reed next in line, though. Fumble. Had it, lost it. Still a chance, the Swans. Jeddah from nowhere.
Well, they had an extra number, Sydney, for a long period of time there.
That's a different
Heath Shaw dropped off Lloyd, let him go up into the centre square, but then got caught in the middle of where the kick was going to go once Lloyd got it. So he's either got to be right back or he's got to push up with him.
Smith.
Good kick.
Good vision. And delivers nicely to Shield.
No one to kick to, though.
He's got to hook it back for Cameron, who will just probably try to put Richards off.
And he put him off all right, dangerous.
Cameron and Richards still in it. Richards down, Cameron over the top. Richards up with the footy.
Oh, nearly gone.
Nearly. Kelly did well. The kick across the face just from behind.
Gee, the ball's moving. Not a lot of contest, is there? It's moving end to end pretty quickly.
Cameron did well there not to give a free kick. He was very wary of doing that. Malcheski the kick in, Jack the recipient.
Great running by McGlynn. Mightn't be the kick to get to him, but gee, it was good running.
And he's happy to see it over.
Sam Frost has got that job. He might be just too good at ground level. It's all right in the air, but Sam Frost in the running ability with Benny McGlynn, who goes up in the midfield now, could be an issue.
It's a good option, though, if Frost is able to play tall and small like that.
If he can.
Third, Parker, quick hands, Jack. Inside 50 they go. Franklin's there, Tippett. And it might be a push.
Which way?
And it's Tippett's. Yep.
Free kick.
It's the replay here.
Let's have a look. Hands in the back anywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, gee, not a lot.
It's not a lot, but
he sort of in the air, wasn't he?
He put one leg
on him.
No, you got to go there.
So I reckon this end is probably more affected by the breeze than the other end. See if it does anything in the air.
So 9 inside 50s, 5 to Sydney, 4 to the Giants, still awaiting our first goal. Tippett. 12-3, he's been very accurate. And that's going to hold its line for a point.
Didn't move at all.
Just look behind play, boys. Looks like Reece Palmer has got the role on Malcheski. He's been a goal kicker, defensive player. Malcheski's averaging 500 metres per game gained. Dangerous player.
Oh, they're overdoing it here, the Giants, and it's going to turn over, and it does. And you don't want it to turn over to Buddy, because Buddy will kick it through. How easy is that? It needed some star power to kick the first.
The one thing you don't want to do is get this bloke into the game. We spoke to Leon Cameron in the lead-up. They need everyone chipping in. There's going to be a team defence that stops Buddy Franklin, but when you just start turning it over in your own attacking 50 and handing shots at goal to him, he will punish you every time.
I reckon you've got to kick the ball again. Trying to come out of defence, handballing through pressure, you have to kick the ball against the Swans. At least you can play tempo footy by controlling it after a mark.
Sydney box looking on. Goal number 36 for Lance Franklin. Back in the middle. Mumford, good knock. Releases Shield. Off his left boot. Smith and Jones. Yes, Smith and Jones.
Good, yeah.
And they were both number 10 to make it even better.
It's beautiful.
Mumford and Pike's been fascinating already. Pike's won that one over the top. Shielded well to slip it to Cornelio, to give it to Ward, but the smother from Richards. Ward will go again. On the boot now, to the line. Oh, behind.
Created some opportunities for themselves, GWS. Just haven't had the finishing polish. It's the only thing stopping him at the moment.
Malcheski, the designated kicker. Shield arrives. Still trouble getting it out of their back 50, haven't they?
Tell you what, he could go here. If this wind's behind his shoulder and he thinks he can go...
Well, he's gone.
Oh, he was always on, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He just thought to himself, I'm going to go this.
Started well, Shield. 6 disposals already.
Yeah.
Swans are kicking at 43% at the moment, and some of those have been kicks out of the defensive 50.
Spot on. That one's a bit better. To Jack. And the quick break. Kick over the top to Kennedy. Just taps it forward to his own advantage. Parker kept going. Takes them on. Back to Kennedy.
Good pressure.
Yeah, they've overdone it themselves. Now it's going to be GWS. Pike underneath, got below the knees of Shield.
Well done, Shield. He got hit by Parker in a Shepherd just prior to this, and he looked like he was out on his feet, but just fantastic play.
Great kick too.
The kick was an instructive one, wasn't it?
He didn't see it, no.
Didn't know it was coming.
Well, he's off the boil. His Shield's coming to the boundary line now because he had about 3 contests in a row there.
That would have been a chest mark.
Yeah.
Mumford just turned around a little earlier and attacked the footy.
Has exhausted Shield. From the throw-in. Sits for Lloyd. Not 15. Tomlinson. Didn't take it. Lloyd just slipped it to Kennedy. He loves getting through traffic, but he gave that up. Now Whitfield got it from Treloar. And he doesn't miss his target very often, Whitfield. This is Christian Jacks.
It's a good size.
And he hits it to the top of the square, hoping for Patton or Cameron. Patton got up there. Palmer got a bad bounce. He was all set to kick a goal. A give on the up to Bug. A wonderful smother again. Richards. He's the goalkeeper at the moment. He probably should be playing for Australia in the World Cup.
Trouble now. Franklin one out with more.
McVeigh on the burst. Wants to use McGlynn through the middle.
Tippett on his own.
Now McGlynn to Tippett. How's that for transition? Be careful, he's sure.
Had to run straight into him.
Oh, that hurt.
He got a knee in either the stomach or...
And look, great to see Kurt Tippett obviously concerned about Shaw's well-being.
Yeah.
I mean, he's entitled to protect himself.
Oh, no doubt.
Kurt Tippett.
I don't know whether it's a knee in the stomach or something. I don't think it was a head hot. Yeah, he's talking about the trainer's looking at the stomach and the knee got him right in the rib cage. Let's have a look. Oh, no, got him on the jaw.
Got him on the jaw,
Oh,
yeah.
that is just out to him.
Oh, yeah, he's out.
See, I know for a fact his father and mother are here tonight, Jason, so they...
Mum and Dad are here, Tony?
Yeah, they're here tonight. Because Reece, of course, the both boys live in Sydney now, but, oh, that is shocking. Let's hope that it's...
Stretch is coming.
You can see some movement.
So not what the Giants needed. One of their prime movers down back. He sets things up for them. He hits targets on the way out. And he just went a little bit hard at Tippett, who protected himself, and he walked right on the chin.
That is the normal thing that a forward does when he's getting front on pressure. you put the knee up. It's protection. It's also balance for yourself, and you don't want to just get poleaxed by someone running straight into the front of you.
You don't plant your 2 feet on the ground and stay there, do you?
No, even he was never going to spoil the ball. Kurt Tippett, you couldn't put any blame at all there. You've got to protect yourself, but it just hit him on the right spot, on the jaw. I thought it might have been a chest injury or something like that, but he was out before he went down.
Yeah. He was just desperately trying to get back to put some pressure on, maybe get there for a spoil, but was never going to make it, Heath Shaw. But he was running flat stick.
Now, the official was talking to him then, so hopefully he's found his consciousness there, because he looked like he was out there before, but the official was talking to him, probably asking him questions.
All the numbers, when we look at the stats thus far, very even except for one. Clearances, 8-3 to GWS, so that is a great sign. That's why they're in the game early.
So, as usual, the medical staff taking their time, doing everything possible to make sure that Henshaw gets the best possible.
This is a brutal game, but to see Kurt Tippett, players feel when they know someone was generally hurt like that. Kurt Tippett went to have a look to see if anything was really wrong, whether the mouth guard, and Heath Shaw is moving there, so that's a good sign in one thing. And yes, probably overall the concussion is an issue, but you worry about maybe a broken jaw or something in that area which could be long-term or longer-term.
That's precautionary, the neck brace. So I guess best case scenario we hope for is just a mild concussion.
That would be mild. It might be a bit more heavy than mild, but a concussion is better than a break. Or
that's right. You don't want any sort of fractures or major damage.
They've started well though. You're right, Jace.
Yeah, but they need to regroup now because they've lost an experienced player, at least in the short term, and it's going to be very interesting if they go 2-0 down. They've had opportunities. They've been unable to capitalise on them. But if they can keep winning these clearances, they're going to be a chance. And they're kicking at 69%, Sydney 46%. So
it'd be interesting to see who they put back into that role in the back 50 as one of the players to use on the way out. Whether it might be a Dylan Shield or a Thomas Bugg.
Yeah.
So again, the medical staff just taking their time.
I know one thing, if Heath Shaw has found consciousness, boys, he'd want to get it. It's just what he is. He loves being involved in anything, not just football, any time of his life. He's just hyperactive and wants to get it. But I can see one of the trainers, it's a physio, keep talking to him.
And they'll be
trying
telling
to stop him.
not
Just
to
stay,
move, just
exactly.
stay still.
But sometimes you don't listen because he just loves what he does, you know. But anyway, hopefully everything's going to work out. He is talking there. He looks like he's conscious now. Good hard sitting up here as the uncle, let me tell you, chaps.
Yeah, I don't think anyone likes seeing these sorts of things happen, but when it's a member of the family, sure, very difficult to sit through.
I feel for his mother and father. Ray, of course, has been through all this and seen a lot of these things. Haven't been involved, but the mums feel it probably worse than the dads. But hopefully, look, he is awake and he's moving, which is great.
Yeah, and we'll try and get a read on Heath as soon as we can.
Yeah.
Just to let people at home.
He's talking.
We'll try and get some information out of the Giants camp.
Yeah. Tell you what, in the meantime, Kurt Tippett's had a lot of time to think about the kick, hasn't he?
Well, they're in the game, the Giants, but the fact of life is that if Tippett slots this through, it's 2-0.
Yeah.
And they'll be out to a 10-point lead. So will Wilson go down back as the sub?
I would, if you can, not change the midfield mix at the moment because they're going right there.
It might be a straight swap for Wilson.
You'd hope so.
We'll keep an eye on that. But Tippett now to resume proceedings. We've had Franklin kick a goal. Now his partner. Doesn't miss too many from straight in front, and he kicks Sydney second after all that.
Well, just as we say, no blame at all on Kurt Tippett there. Just had to protect himself, and Probably it just shows his athleticism and being able to get the knee up that high. I don't know whether we need to have a look at it again, but for who's a matter of fact, gee, it looked like it was a chest injury, but as soon as we saw it, the knee hit the jaw.
It did look like first up, didn't it?
And I thought he might have broken a rib or something, you know, but oh no, that was right on the jaw. And
so the Bondi Billionaires with 1 each early for Sydney.
Well, I mean, if you're a Swans supporter or involved with the Swans coaching staff, first thing you want to see are your key forwards getting into the game.
So back in the middle, and Sydney to get the first clearance by Jack. Spoiled from Moore, down towards Frost. He couldn't take it, but he managed to tap it over. That is a very dangerous handball. It put Cornelio under extreme pressure. Kieran Jack picks it up, and he kicks a goal on his birthday.
Well, there are places that you cannot afford to turn the ball over, and in the corridor in your defensive 50 is one of those. It's a hand pass that just shouldn't have been given. I mean, they looked like they were going to mop up, clean possession. There it is, had options running back, chose to go back into traffic. That created the turnover. And Kieran Jack, ever the opportunist, finishes very, very well.
Whitfield.
Just the wrong option, put Cornelio under pressure.
In the blink of an eye, Swans lead by 16. So from the stoppage with the injury to Shaw, then a goal to tip it, a quick one to Jack. And the Giants need to get one back. Pike just trying to lay it down to Bird, McVeigh to Jack again. Laidler. Kennedy might get back first for the Giants. Here comes McGlynn. And he keeps it going forward. Frost to tidy up. Kennedy tight to the line. Over the back it goes.
just got to get some, now they're under a bit of pressure. I think you've got to get some distance out of that offensive area. Even if you get a stoppage out of bounds or whatever, just to take the speed off the game for a couple of minutes, play a bit of tempo footy, but no handball, try and shut down the handball out of your defensive area.
Again, from the stoppage, Shield back out there. Kennedy, it's Josh Kennedy to Bird, to Laidler off his left. High ball up, Moore down in front. Franklin crumbing it from his opponent. Just flipped it out towards Bird. Jack and Airy. Kennedy's so good in that situation.
Strong.
Quick hands to Jack, to Reid, to Jones. Wants one more. Decided not to use Malcheski, to Richards. Patton arrived just in time to force the kick. Here we go. Lloyd has Whitfield chasing. Gets a bad bounce. Rampy. Nice work by Kelly. And they've forced a turnover, or have they?
Good pressure.
Jones, now they have. Cameron. Jones did well. It's going to go back quickly here for the Swans. Malcheski on the left boot. Franklin the target. Yes, no, wait, yes.
That's unlucky for Tim Moore. It was a terrific play by Franklin to track the footy. I think he might have been unlucky not to get a free kick in the first place. Franklin having one arm being held, but
I reckon Tim Moore, when he was on the, just after he marked that ball, he said, I can't believe that. I held his arm and he still marked it off his chest.
Just popped up fortuitously.
And it was so quick to come back, wasn't it? I mean, just if it bounces off someone else's foot at the other side, the Giants are away. But Sydney capitalised and turned things around very quickly. Franklin, inside 50 for number 2. Yes! Straight through!
So now there's big issues for GWS because they'd started well, they got themselves in the game, but now they're 4 goals down. And it's happened very, very quickly. A couple of errors, a little bit of misfortune, maybe lucky not to give the free kick away, but you don't expect the ball to pop up off a wrist and then result in a mark to Buddy Franklin like that. So they've got to get the next one. They've got to make sure that they just stop the flood, you know.
Yeah, maybe throw one behind.
At the moment, they've got to stop the bleeding.
But he's looking dangerous, as he has been for the last month.
It's whether you drop a +1 and try and just control the game a little bit now. I don't know whether Leon Cameron wants to do it. Other than that, contested possessions, they're getting smashed at the moment, and the clearances are nearly evened up.
Jack kicking it forward. How will it bounce here for Patton? Grundy gets there first. Patton pressuring him, though. And he wants it to go out. Or does. It goes out now.
Well, at least a stoppage to work off here.
Hold separation, hold! I got Bert.
Plenty of players around the ball, waiting for this knock. Mumford v Pike. Pike. Parker comes through. Did well, but he took on the tackler. Slipped it over to Smith. McVeigh, nowhere to go there.
Then. Oh, he pulled that out of his hands.
Smith took it off McVeigh. Said, I'll do it.
Is that a hand pass?
He just stole it. Here's Tippett. He got away from Davis, who let him go to the ball. Then he just handballed straight to Davis. Palmed back by Jacks, but a little bit cute. Trelaw's not cute. He is direct. He's got it again. Parker. Swans didn't give up on that. Now they've got a bit of a switch here to McGlynn.
He's been busy early, Benny McGlynn. He creates by hard running.
Richards is running hard here, but the handball from Grundy missed Malcheski. No real pressure coming though, and he can set back through the middle to Cunningham. Here's Malcheski again. That one floats and tumbles. Davis did well to get in front of Tippett, but he pushed it into a dangerous area. Handball on the ground from Kennedy to Jeddah. He likes this situation. He's going to set sail for home, but he just hooked the kick.
They look like scoring every time they go forward at the moment, the Swans. Got some headaches. Not enough pressure on the ball coming down, but they're also working hard once it hits their attacking 50, the Swans, to keep it there.
The other thing is the forward pressure. GWS has just dropped off. They look a bit slow on the rebound. Cameron and Patton just not holding their own in the one-on-ones to keep it in there.
Whitfield really not sure where to go here. And it's an outlet kick, really. It'll go out of bounds. So it was the percentage play.
Got to start pushing back a bit, Jason. Patton against Grundy. He's holding his arms a little bit and he's trying to get a free kick. Just got to take him another couple of metres off the ball and then come late at it.
Sub on. We saw Wilson sprinting onto the ground there. Well done, Mumford. Nice down to Cornelio and turn to Jacks. Hard one to mark for Tomlinson. He prefers to be on the move when he marks. Sydney very good in this sort of situation to wrestle it out, and by quick fire hands they get it to a teammate and all of a sudden they're gone. Not this time.
There's no one forward for GWS, so if that kick had have gone forward, nothing's going to happen. There's a couple of Sydney sweepers out the back.
You've got to keep Patton or Cameron, you reckon, in that forward 50 area. I just wonder whether that sub's been activated. Who's sure with a 20-minute time span, Matt? Do you know?
We'll find out. They've got the 20 minutes with the concussion rule.
Concussion rule, yeah, when it was kicked in straight away.
There's a bit happening here off the ball.
Yep.
Oh, look, it's Jeddah.
There's some tempers flared here.
Gee, that's a bit dangerous from the umpire.
Threw it up on top of him.
On top of blood. I know you want to get the ball going. Pretty smart play probably then.
Hoskinelli the quick kick. 2-on-1 though, and that's good play by Rampy. He just realised the situation and went back. Knew the quick kick would be his. And away they go again.
But that's Jeremy Cameron. He should have made a 2-on-1, a 1-on-2 then, by coming up to the ground and not leaving that space where Rampy could be the loose man in defence.
Still a bit of push and shove going on behind play McVeigh and Bug. Well, Bug can be annoying, like all Bugs. But he is pushing and shove McVeigh, but that's a nice mark down back to Hunt. Now there's 3 Giants out here. They've just got to work it out.
Got to use this ball here.
Plenty of Swans waiting back for it though.
Whitfield slipped over, so
Good lead forward.
Keep running.
And there's a target in Hoskin Elliott, who got it from Tomlinson. This is the difficult one where they're struggling now.
There's no lead-up target.
Have to go back to Shield.
They tend to chip it around until they go the long bomb option. And they're not finding, there's not enough movement in the attacking 50 for GWS. No leading options.
Have a look how wide that is.
It's very wide. Palmer will come back on his left boot and drill it low to a pack of Swans. Almost though to Bug. He didn't really want it. Whitfield on hands and knees. Got to be careful here, Lockie Whitfield. And they'll have a ball up inside the forward 50 for the Giants, still searching for their first goal. We've got just under 3 minutes remaining. Again, it's Bug and McVeigh. He's just bugging it.
That's it. Let it go, Thomas.
That's a nice work by Pike. His first quarter's been good, Tony. Hasn't let Mumford get on top.
No.
Goods, a little bit slow there.
Well, Mumford hasn't touched the ball, as in a real stat. Taps he has, but not possession-wise.
Hold separation. Let him run.
Well, and neither's Mike. So they're 0-all, but it's all about just not letting Mumford dominate. There is Mumford. And Parker almost got it through. Kelly, quick give. Canelio couldn't. Now
he was dumped after he got rid of it.
They're away to the Swans. Have a look at that.
Back here, holding. Dumped up disposal.
So the free kick against Jeddah, who was a little bit upset earlier. Canelio.
Yeah, good lead.
Well, McVeigh just got enough on it, but a chance here for the Giants. Could it be their first goal? It is. Callan Ward. Now it's Thomas Bugg.
The pest.
It was a really good finish in the end because it looked to be a great lead from Cameron, and it looked like we see here Jeddah just slings quickly over the ground.
He's lost the plot a bit.
It's a great lead. It looked a great kick. I reckon maybe McVeigh just gets a fingertip on it, and then off one step, a little left foot. Beautiful finish, and they needed it, desperately needed it. So they've got to put two in a row together now. Still winning the clearances 12-8, the Giants.
Canelio involved, but Thomas Bugg kicking the goal.
I don't think Johnny Longmire will be happy with Lewis Jeddah there. I think he's just lost the plot. He's just got to pull it in, rein that anger in a little bit.
Yeah, that was a little bit frustrating, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's unlucky.
They normally call less than that, don't they?
Yeah, Devon Smith will get another chance at it. Davis didn't want it. He thought
communication.
Yeah, he thought his teammate Lockie Whitfield was going to go for it. Oh no, it was Kennedy, but just not quite right there. Look at that work from Ward. Kelly couldn't get boot to ball. Now the Swans just swoop.
How good was Callum Ward there?
Yeah.
How good he fumbled, went to knees, got back up and had the handball away. Just a sensational captain, this bloke. Great leader.
Hard ball to be won there, but Ward might do it. Comes to Kelly. This time he gets boot to ball. Squeezes it out. First back should be Grundy. He's wrapped up
Good
by
pressure.
Hoskin Elliott. Cameron can't get into the game. Cunningham back.
Good switch.
Rampy the switch and finds his target. Jack's had plenty of it. That's 13 disposals for Kieran Jack.
They just look a bit lethargic to me, the big keys up for GWS.
Yeah.
Patton and Cameron, they just look a bit tired, look a bit lethargic to me. They need a bit of a spark. I know the last lead he was on looked a lot better. They need a bit more of that.
There's a good lead. That's the opposite for Sam Reid and the Swans.
Can't bomb it to Franklin. It's 2-on-1.
Goods is also up there. Kennedy waits.
Move it on. Fly on.
Sends it to the outer side, hoping for Franklin. Just lost his footing there for a second. Now Moore. And then chips to Whitfield.
I go a bit further, Baz. I reckon Jeremy Cameron needs a rocket. He needs to know that you've got a defensive side of your game. You've got to work hard in that area.
There's a monumental turnover. And not really crucifying them because Davis got back. It should have been a goal for Sydney.
Tell you
Should
what,
have done better there, Rampy.
it was a poor kick from GWS, but Adam Treloar took forever to turn around and look at it. It was like he wasn't interested in it once he saw it was going over his head.
There he is, just watching.
19 seconds on the clock. This is you don't want to turn the ball over here.
Yeah, the short kick was on there.
Patton just misjudged a couple so far in this first quarter that he should have taken.
And that's a bit of what I was talking about, a bit of intensity. When you're going for a contest, he's got to take them.
He's got to wrap those up.
There's been 2 or 3 of those, as you said, Matty. They've got to take them.
He's got to clunk them, doesn't he? Kelly got it quickly from Devon Smith, and he was trying to find Treloar. But luckily for the Giants, they did get one back towards the end, courtesy of Thomas Bugg, but it was a 5-minute period with the injury to Heath Shaw. The game stopped, and then the Swans came. They kicked 3 quick goals. In quarter time, Franklin's got a couple, and Sydney lead by 3 goals. We'll take a break here from the SCG. The Giants have had some opportunities early, but late in the quarter they have their big men not really taking the marks they should. If they're going to win this game, they need to. And there is Coach Leon Cameron saying, Jonathan, you've just got to take those. That's your job. That's why you're here, and that's what we need you to do if we're going to upset the Sydney Swans again. 28 points to 10. It's a 3-goal lead. Kieran Jack, 14 disposals. 11 of those uncontested, roaming free at the moment. Shield started very well for the Giants, but certainly there's some things to think about in the Giants camp. Let's get down to Barry Hall. He's with their assistant coach, Chad Corns.
Yeah, thanks, Matty. Well, Cornsey, a terrible incident with Who's Shaw. Any word on him yet?
I'm not exactly sure, but it got him flush on the chin. Didn't look good. Courageous effort going back with the flight, so just hope he's okay.
And the young fellas took their opportunities early. There was a couple they missed. The scoreboard might be a lot different.
Yeah, if we kicked our goals early, it could have been a lot different story. Just over possessing the footy, and they're looking really dangerous from their kicking, so he's got to find a man quicker and see what happens.
Also, my message at quarter time.
Well, to my backs, just not to trail in their opponents, get right on the back, and I think Leon was just, Jack started to get off the hook there in the second half of that quarter, so man up on him and just starts with a contested ball.
Good luck, mate. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, look forward to seeing who it is that's manning up on Kieran Jack, because whilst he started with Callan Ward for the first bounce or two, Craig Bird has gone on to Callan Ward, but no one's taken responsibility for Kieran Jack.
So there's the Prime Minister, Tony Abbott. A bit of Richo work on the right.
Yeah. Nice blanket and scarf.
Yes. Alan Jones.
Alan Jones on the left.
Jones on the left. Some power brokers there, Matty.
Yeah, earlier on in the day, they did officially open some of the new stands and some plaques there for the naming of some of the stands. So
they did.
A little ceremony earlier on.
I think the area they got, look, we look at the, and there's, well, the old coach.
There's what a lot of people would consider a real power broker.
Yeah. Plus 15 uncontested possession, and I think a lot of those would have come out of the back half for the Sydney Swans. So they've just got to get some marking power, try and keep it deep forward, at least to give them something to kick to when they're under pressure, because every time they go forward, they look like scoring, the Sydney Swans. This man's done a good job too, Mike Pike.
Yeah, he's kept Mummy out of it. Set to go in this second quarter, and Mumford's first at it. Parker won it, gave it to Jack. It looks like Treloar started with Jack there. We'll keep an eye on that.
Oh, dear. Wow.
Tim Moore, he'd want that one again. You don't get an easier mark than that. It went straight through and hit him in the face. And the Swans are ready to pounce. Treloar bustles through. Whitfield, quick hands. Cornelio.
Sometimes you just got to kick the ball.
Goods off the left. Probably should have made him pay.
Just
twice.
A
little handball in that danger zone.
Look, they're up against the team that is the best in the business at quick hands, as we see Tim Moore, who can't believe he dropped that one. Sydney are the best in the business at quick hands in traffic that release a player. And you can see GWS would love to be playing the same brand of footy, but they don't quite have that composure under pressure.
Might be getting a run on Wednesday night, Jace, that one, probably. But anyway, that's another story. Out of bounds in front of Buddy.
So can't afford to concede the first. I'm going to kick the first goal, GWS. Put a bit of...
Well, hold on. Here's Kieran Jack here now. Now Ward's gone back to him now. So let's see if that matchup continues.
Laidler through. Jack again. And...
Well, Craig Bird has started on the bench in the second term. But
so at the moment, Ward's trying to get to Jack or Cornelio's with him. So they just mix it. They're just taking who's ever closest.
Liam Shields on the bench, boys.
Jetta, Parker.
Really good kick.
Kick out in front and found Franklin.
Really
under some pressure he found him.
But see, what that is a kick to space to the advantage of your forward. And it was a beautifully weighted kick. Moore's never going to reel in Franklin when he's given away 2 or 3 metres on the lead. And the way he's kicking, he's kicked 11 straight now since he kicked 4 points in the first half against Port Adelaide. He then lit it up in the second half of that match, and he's got 11 straight. So once your confidence is up, it's a great place to be when you're lining them up.
This for his third to make it a dozen straight. As soon as he hit it, he knew it was home.
He's kicking well.
He's in for a big, big night.
Well, I want to go back to that clearance, though, because to me, too many GWS players are getting sucked to the ball carrier. And look at the numbers out the back here for Sydney. 1, 2, and then the great quick kick out in space, as Jason spoke about. You just got to make sure that if you're going to go to the ball player who's got the ball around the contest, make it only one, so you don't draw a player and then they're easily working their handball through the lines here, Sydney. Just, gee, he's kicking well. He's been so confident for a month, buddy.
Bit of Luke Breust about him at the moment. Lance Franklin doesn't miss.
He's got 26 in a row.
26 straight, Luke Breust.
And Luke Breust would like his pay packet, I would think.
Even, 20%. Anyway.
You see Bird's on and he's gone straight to Callum Ward.
Yeah, so that they have to reshuffle again to see who goes to Jack. Smith, quick hands. Rampy, Cunningham, they're going back, but they've maintained possession nicely. Found the target in Jeddah, who will wheel around quickly. Always likes to move it on. Tippett's got to beat 2 and he won't. Oh dear. Jack's ducked his head. They've dropped 2 really easy marks in their back 50.
Well,
and that's costing them.
I don't think Moore ducked his head. He just missed the whole thing, but Jacks wouldn't want to see that one again. Got to keep your head up, son. You'll learn from that.
Hoskin Elliott, the man following Kieran Jack at the moment.
49 metres. We've played.
Ben McGlynn's a very good shot at goal. He'll fancy himself from just outside 50, and as soon as I say very good shot for goal, he doesn't even score. Ben McGlynn is the worst kick in the competition at the moment.
He's a good player, though.
He's a great player.
Yeah,
if you watch his running off the ball, Shorey, it's not just him, but it's the space that it creates and the options for his teammates. It's amazing to watch.
So Mumford will just play the percentage here. Patton's just calling for it long. It's going to come late, and he didn't get there in time. Jones to Bird, stretching Jack. He's from outside 50. He fancies himself, looking for number 2. Bang, hits the woodwork.
Oh, come on.
If it's Hoskin Elliott, he was on him a few minutes ago. Now he goes into defensive mode, Kieran Jack, and he's just picking up space. But if someone doesn't get near him soon, he's kicked 16. He's got a goal to his name, nearly had 2 goals to his name. Clearly the best man on the ground.
Yep. Well, you've got to ask. I hope the coach is just sending the message out to whoever's been pinpointed for him a quarter time. You have to stay with him, stop him, negate him, and don't care if you don't get the ball now, but just stop him.
It might go out on the full.
Yep.
It will. Well, not so much out on the full, but no one touched it, so it'll be a Sydney kick. Real problems for the Giants at the moment. They're down by 26, and then having trouble stopping the big forwards. This man is a big midfielder.
And look at Buddy lurking right behind him here.
He wants it, Buddy.
Does he what?
Josh Kennedy.
They're getting a lesson in work rate at the moment. The Giants, Swans all over them.
Hasn't been as accurate as he'd like this season. 8-12 on the scoreboard. Get a good shot of him here, right behind him. Just outside 50. And they're just leaving the Giants in the game, aren't they?
Are they what? But they haven't looked like running the ball from like Sydney have out of the kick-ins.
No, from one end to the other.
Sydney have really defended it well. And it's worse when you have out in the full, because you know normally it's harder to switch from out in the full. Of course,
you're always going to go the one way.
Go one way. Although this man can penetrate with his boot, and he did. Smart
play. He just walks around goods. That's good to see.
That is a good play.
Yeah, change it up. Here's Jacks.
Go down the line, the Patton. He's got to compete here. Got to jump on ahead.
And he's going to come late again. He's just got to get his timing right.
No, he did compete.
Yeah. It's flipped forward by Hunt, and that stayed in. Josh Kelly weaves it through. Cameron normally likes to see it go over the back in that situation. Richards knew that. Richards just dangerously going to ground, though. Chance here for the Giants. Palmer went without it. Laidler wanted a free kick. He's down. Richards back to Pike. He didn't want it. Kelly again. Mumford. Pike's got him. Wherever you go, I go.
Couple of head highs.
Mummy's not happy.
Stationary.
A little bit of work there from Mumford. To the advantage of Bug, but he couldn't do much with it. Somehow it falls for Shield. Now it was going back towards Kelly, but Treloar got in the way. And we'll have a ball in.
Matty, I'm staying on Kieran Jack watch. It's not Hoskin Elliott. He was only there for a minute or two. It could be Treloar. It could be Dylan Shield at this stoppage. But as soon as the ball goes, he runs his own way. The GWS midfield run their own way, and he keeps getting the ball.
Ward punching it clear. Jeddah there first, though, for Sydney. Straightens up and kicks it out wide in front of Franklin. Moore is okay. Still some pressure here, though, for the Giants. The Swans are getting some numbers back quickly.
He's pulled that in, you know.
Held that in, and we're going to have a ball up, though. 5 goals to 1.
Thank you. Straight back here.
Parker doing the ruck work. Jeddah spinning out of trouble. Laidler using Parker. And by hand, he goes looking for McVeigh. Who hooks it around the corner. Maybe a bit too far for Kennedy. It is.
18 to 14 inside 50s, but every time Sydney go inside 50, they look like they're going to score. Where you go up the other end, they need someone to mark the ball for GWS. Now, have a look. Everybody nearly in a quarter of the ground here. I think GWS want to keep people a few forwards back a bit further.
Diving on it was Ward, and then he lost it, and he let Bird take it because he was hoping for a free kick. Umpire wary.
Well, Patton's had the 2 possessions. Cameron hasn't touched it yet, and that was a real feature for me. Patton last week, first half of football, when the game was up for grabs, he was a real presence. There's none of that today.
McVeigh finding it hard to get free, and it's stagnating at the moment. It's not pretty.
Callum Ward gets a kick for high contact.
He's trying to lift this midfield.
There is Cameron.
This man, he's got to work a lot harder. He's trying to get the one over the back, you know, lead a bloke under and double back. You've got to mark the ball as a key position forward and in pressure situations.
Big switch on, but if you don't find your target, you put him under pressure. Davis along the line.
Left footer.
Yeah.
Oh, he went in right.
Good hands.
Yeah, but they're going to have to be quick here. Kelly, Frost. Kelly wants it back. Might get it off Shield. Shield's got some pace to burn, though. Now, over the top, Cameron went to ground.
And very slow getting up. So, if he's not fit, shouldn't be playing.
I'm not sure he is 100%.
That's a throw.
That's a throw, chance Giants.
Good defensive pressure. Cameron gets back to the goal square quickly, but he is limping.
Now, this man is a goal kicker.
He likes to kick goals, doesn't he, Devon Smith?
Well, he pointed to the goals twice and then just turned his back on the forward 50 and walked back. He told everyone I'm having a shot. So, look at it. He's got his back to play.
18 goals, 9.
Never liked seeing that.
Always one of the first things you learn, isn't it?
Always think you should walk back facing goals in case someone pops up all on their own.
Smith.
Oh, that's a mongrel.
Yeah, it doesn't get much worse than that as far as... That was like the ball spun on the bottom of its axis the entire way there.
There was no helicopter in that because one blade came off.
Reverse gravity from Smith. Spoil should come here. Parker will be first to it for Sydney. It'll give to Smith. He's got beautiful vision, Smith. Kennedy over the top. Kennedy for the Giants.
Did well then.
Back to Hunt. Not sure about that one. And here they go again. Jack stepping through again. Whoop. Yes. Found his teammate in Pike, who was just standing still. Touched off the boot. They're running hard here, though, Sydney. Parker gets it from Lloyd. He wanted Cunningham, not his best kick. Wilson under pressure. Josh Kennedy comes through. Parker again. Jack. Reed off the right boot. No, only as far as Davis.
Gee, their handball clearances are just so much cleaner, the Sydney Swans, around the contest.
Grundy almost marked that in one hand. I guess the good thing for the Giants is, I mean, the Swans have been dominating, but they've only sort of got it to a 26-point lead, and we've played over 11 minutes of the quarter. We only managed the 1 goal. Pike doing well in the ruck. Bird, Mumford, fishes it through towards Kelly. He ran out of room and teammates. Goods, kind bounce for him. Smith back to Grundy. He's got Jetta in the middle. Now look at the running from Lloyd, but Jetta decides to go long and direct and look in the Franklin direction. Couldn't quite drag it in. Josh Kennedy comes through. Little toe poke. Gets his own ball. Kept his feet. Straightened up. And one of the best individual goals of the night for Kennedy.
You made the call, Shorey. As soon as you go to ground, you're out of the contest. GWS defender went to ground. Josh Kennedy stayed on his feet, picked it up. Was it Sam Frost?
I think it might have been.
Well, we have the benefit of the replay, but you can see the one-on-one between Franklin and also Kennedy.
Yep, Sammy Frost.
Franklin, yeah. You can't take yourself out of the contest like that. As soon as you do, you're no good to anyone. So he, under no pressure, then picks up the ball, wheels around, and the Swans are away.
Having a stellar year, Josh Kennedy. 11 disposals already. He's the master of the contested possession, isn't he?
Well, before that goal, I thought they had done a fairly good job on him, you know. He's had 7 contested possession going at 25%, so they've pressured him, Matt, but yeah, he's had a sensational year.
Kick forward by Rampy. How will it sit here? Crummer needed for the Swans. Tippett's down low. He's up again. They all look to the man in blue, and they get no response.
So we're about just over 13 minutes into the second term. Kieran Jack's got 20 possessions to his name.
Ablett sort of stats, aren't they? Ablett had 45.
I don't reckon anybody knows who's on him. Palmer's come to him now, but
he's been playing on Dylan Shield. I think it's Dylan Shield.
Well, gee.
What he doesn't have, Jason, well, I think that's what we're sort of calling for, is someone to just go with him non-stop.
Yeah.
Not all this, well, you take him now, I'll take him next or whatever.
Well, as Shorey said, maybe Reece Palmer's the one that can run with him.
Yeah. Runner was just out to Treloar.
At least a senior player who might follow instructions.
Barry Hall will be happy. Cameron's got a stat.
And it looks like Reece Palmer is going there now, Shorey. So maybe the move's been made in the coach's box. Well, that's a one-handed handball.
One-handed handball. Not seen. Umpire was just at the back of that. So let's see what happens here with Palmer.
Just have a look at the Sydney Swans players on the goal side. Defensive goal. Look at them there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Matty, from that umpire on the left-hand side of the screen. If this comes out the back, it's a quick handball backwards. And they related well done GWS on that.
That was really well done. Treloar got it to Bug, who got it to Cornelio off the outside of the boot. He couldn't get free. And the kick only fell as far as Malcheski, and Sydney looked to run it out here quickly. Kick is a good one. Allows Rampy to keep moving in the right direction. So's that. Lloyd can take it and go. He decides to stop. Here's Goods. The kick sort of hung in the air for a while and now allowed Wilson to get there.
Oh, that's a strange kick. To a 1-on-2 and drilled it straight to the loose that was sitting in front in Nick Malcheski. So he'd be worried about the ball use. It's dropped off for GWS.
And that wasn't good ball use from the Sydney Swans. So can they make them pay on the way back?
Open goal square.
Open goal square. Hoskin Elliott. Mummy runs into a pocket.
Oh, use him.
Yeah, it was probably the one, wasn't it?
Now he hits it long. It's 2-on-1 again. And it's a boundary throw. And Patton looks up and says, well, we've got to kick it earlier when I'm 1-on-1.
He led to the pocket, and then it was ignored, and then they kicked it back where the numbers were. He's got every right to look back and say, what on earth was that? And forward starts to lead less and less when you don't honour the lead.
Down to Shield with some time. Back to Kennedy. Adam Kennedy to Bug. Smith spots a man. And Shield right on his limit. And he didn't want it. And he gave it back to Bug. No, Cornelio.
He'll take a 52, 53 metre kick.
Maybe the protection from that stand might help him.
I'm not sure he can get home from here. Cornelio. It's coming back a bit, but it's going to stay there. It's left. Just to behind. So no goals so far for the Giants in this quarter. As you can see on the clock, we've played 16.25 minutes. Buddy having a spell. 3 goals already to the champ. Malcheski with that magnificent left leg. Drills it to McGlynn. Quite often go to a small on the way out, don't they? To a Jack or a McGlynn.
Oh.
Well, that's a turnover. Cameron couldn't do much with it. Went to ground when he shouldn't have.
Yeah. And I reckon he could have marked the ball too. It just doesn't look right. Doesn't look right.
Here go the Swans again. Kennedy, time to see what's ahead. Well done by Palmer. He's got the job on, Jack. He stole it from him. He used his hands.
Finish off.
They can really work it out here. Kelly now. Patton decided to go around the corner. Superb smother by Malcheski. And they'll get very despondent soon if they don't get a goal from some of those forward entries, the Giants, because that should have been a goal.
Look at McGlynn running hard into space again.
And he's got it.
I don't think Frost is the man to play on McGlynn, but anyway, they've gone with these matchups. They've got a lot more bad kick. I think they're bringing Sydney down to their level with the kick disposal efficiency.
They're 31 points up. They should be 50 or 60 points up. Just a couple of errant kicks have kept the Giants within range. Here's Buddy back on the ground.
Yeah, that's a poor kick from Tim Moore. He had numbers on the switch and he just went long up the line to where Sydney wanted him to kick the ball.
Malcheski gets around. Goods. Too good. To McVeigh. Tight angle, though, on the 50-metre line. Been well held so far, McVeigh. Just the 5 disposals.
Left footer. You're not going to stop that kick, but it's a left footer swinging board with the wind coming across your left shoulder. This should suit, buddy.
Well, the bare 15 metres, isn't it?
Well, here we go. This is a very tough kick, but he's on song at the moment.
Throwing out the face of the goal. That's where he needs to do it. This will come back with the breeze.
Out he goes. Play on. Gets around. Wheels it back. And he missed. We're not used to seeing him miss.
And that's a lucky let-off for GWS. I mean, you're marking the player from playing on, and then to get sold a little bit of candy like that, nearly got punished. Could create some run.
Play on.
Hunt's kick to a one-on-one situation with the ruckman. Kelly gets front and square, did well.
Just kick the ball sometimes, get some distance.
Tomlinson got it from Hoskin Elliott.
Good kick.
Measured pass to Cameron. Can he come around? No one on the goal square, so he's got to find a target.
He's got to hold on to the ball.
Chipped it to Tomlinson, who kept going. It's a hard runner, Tomlinson.
He kicks the ball a long way too, so I think you've got to take these on. Every shot you get, that you might just get a goal to get the emotion in the game.
Doesn't really look as though he wants to kick it for goal. Has a ping, though. Just to behind.
If he had a bit more confidence in himself, he might have thought...
body language was all the opposite, wasn't it?
I don't know whether how Johnny Longmire will look at this quarter. He'd be thinking, boys, like you said, Matty, should be probably another 4 or 5 goals up, but scoreboard's everything.
Cameron a chance here.
2-1 here.
Over the shoulder free kick against Reid.
So a couple of quick possessions for Jeremy Cameron. Hopefully he can get himself into the game. Just needs to hit a target here.
Can he get home from here, Tony?
Oh, well, normally you would think this ball's going to go left to right, but he doesn't think so. And there's a turnover.
Still a chance, though, the Giants. They've still got possession. And they've got a loose man.
Good hands.
And that loose man is Jack. And it's touched on the line.
That's the sort of night they're having. They cannot buy a goal, GWS. Creating opportunity after opportunity, but just can't get that clean use of the football to give the player that's having the final shot the time and space to make sure of it.
This is McGlynn. Sydney by 30 points. Smith by hand. But Grundy wide. And he heads in the Bird direction.
Gee, they go deep in their midfield, don't they, Sydney? McGlynn, Bird. We know the stars in their midfield, but McVeigh, Kennedy.
Hanbury's not there.
2 Jacks. Hanbury's not there. It's pretty impressive.
Tippett the target. Ball over the back. Boundary throw-in.
It's just hard to see where their run's going to come from, GWS. It's stagnant. There's been a couple of periods where they've got open, they've hit a couple of targets, but for the most part, you're not creating it, not working hard enough to create opportunities for each other.
Pike in front, Mumford over the back. McVeigh sharks it well. To the square he goes. Ball is alive here for Buddy.
Stay on his left.
He's around one. He might have to get around a couple. He gave it back to his partner, and Tippett says, your turn, have a goal.
So it's very unselfish play.
3 to Franklin, 2 to Tippett. Things going very, very nicely, but a little bit too easy. And again, you talk about work rate. Where are the GWS numbers getting back to give their defenders a chop out? We spoke to Leon Cameron prior to the game. You can't leave it up to the back 6. There's got to be pressure on the ball coming down, and then there's got to be players working back to soak up some of this space. Once he gets around more, he's then jockeying with another player, draws 2 in, creates space for Tippett.
5 of the 7 goals to Franklin and Tippett. A 2-pronged forward attack, which, if it continues in this vein and they both stay fit, come September,
Matty,
will be enormous.
It's very quickly become the #1 forward combination in the competition by a country mile.
Palmer gets back onto his left. Long ball in. Spoiled from Rampy. Malcheski read it best. To Rampy, combining with Bird, and away they run it out in front of Cunningham.
Nathan, hold! You're right there.
Cameron and Patton have had 6 possessions between them, haven't hit the scoreboard, and up the other end, the two Keys have kicked their 5 goals. A little bit of a difference, but it is the ball supply too.
Yeah, good.
Lack of pressure here.
Kennedy, McGlynn, now Lloyd should have a shot at goal. It's not bad. Ooh, just off to the right.
He just tried to come off for a stint on the bench as well. Lloyd got sent back, straight involved in the play. Adam Goods is starting to prove a little bit of a thorn forward. A couple of times Josh Hunt has just sat off him. You've got to compete with him when he goes for the mark like that. He shouldn't be able to take a second grab mark because the fish should be there to knock it away.
Inside 50s, 24 to 22. So not much differential there.
15 scoring shots to 8.
Yep, but 1 goal only for the 22 entries. This is Davis on the boundary line. Patton, not again, just not as clean as he'd want to be.
Just popping up all the time, aren't they?
Through the middle of the ground they go. Oh, and there's another good mark, and this time it's Tippett's turn.
They were completely outnumbered, the Swans. But no one able to spoil it.
As he marked it.
Umpire just explaining as he marked it high. So,
Let it go, guys.
no 50, I guess, but
Right here.
just say he marked it.
Right here.
Just say, yeah.
Same myself.
Right
Just
here.
there's a replay in the box there. Yeah, just marked it.
15 seconds, Kurt.
Here's a fraction late.
Little clip from Josh Hunt.
So we just saw him kick one, courtesy of the assist from Franklin. This one all on his own merit, and we're right behind him for his third. And he's missed that one.
44 more uncontested possessions to the Sydney Swans, and a lot of them are coming from a contest with quick hands out the back, and the others just using each other, running harder.
Hard running, Shorey. That's exactly what it is.
Whitfield, the recipient of the Jacks kick in. And he hasn't got a lot to kick to, though. He's got to wait. No tall timber, and that's exactly what he had to do because he had no tall targets to aim at. Now we get a very long kick to a tall target, and Patton got a mark, and he got that one to stick.
3 metres, Nick. One more.
But where's the hard running? Very congested, and where Sydney have been great is just forcing them to repeatedly kick it long up the line, and then they turn it over. They normally get hand passes out the back, and
on the back,
it comes back.
And away it comes around in the circle. 26 minutes gone in this second quarter. Swans in control, both in tempo and on the scoreboard. Mumford got rid of Pike. Hard to get through there. Palmer, Bug.
Easy.
And a ball up.
Easy, thank you. Good tackles. Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Josh. Thank you. Straight back. Let it rock away. Play on.
Did well there, Pike. Did really well. Speedy of doing well. But he's got... Look at this. He ran past 10 of them. And kicks one of the best goals you'll see this year.
Well, the thing I found amazing about this is he kicked it with the bloke hanging off his back. There was a bloke in the process of tackling him, and it made no difference to the finish on the run. Have a look at the chase here, and they actually, he fends one off, too good. Then the chase comes, and they're actually putting hands on him as he's kicking the foot. It makes no difference. He just slots it at full speed, which is a tough skill at the best of times.
Franklin's on fire here. Over the last 5 weeks, he's averaging 4 goals a game. He's already got 4 before half-time. There's no doubt that he gave one off the tip, but I mean, he could end up with double figures tonight.
I keep saying it. Everybody knocked him in the first month. They played in the wet 3 weeks in a row, where it was a quagmire, if you could have a quagmire in the modern game, and no tall forward had an impact. He's going to have this one.
He might have 5 to half-time, not 15. And Moore, with a little bit of aggression, just dumps him on the ground. We've got a ball up.
The other thing, though, for Franklin to run through that contest, I think Leon Cameron would be pulling his hair out that no one was sort of just like a wall across that half-back line, waiting for someone to come through that area. And I know Buddy's got enough speed and power to break it, but you had to have someone sitting back, knowing that that's where you're either going to receive a handball off the contest or block the forward runner.
Pike just flipped it towards Tippett. Look at the Sydney Swans players just waiting for it. Quick hands. And it ends up from Smith to Rampy. Up high it goes. Yeah, it's going to be a Giants ball. Swans have just got real control of this game at the moment. 44-point lead.
He's late in the second term. He's had to push deep into defence, Jonathan Patton, and Grundy's gone down with him, so it's just clogging it up. And they don't even look like going forward now, GWS.
And Patton kicks it out on the full. It just goes from bad to worse at the moment. And watch this for a big switch. Jetta might be next. Reed to Jones to Jetta. Can take it and go. Where's Franklin? Here he is. Moore, almost the one-hander. Siren sounds before Franklin could get involved and perhaps kick his fifth. But he's had a great first half. He's kicked 2 in both quarters. And the Giants have only managed the 1 goal. Sydney, 8. So a very big half for the Sydney Swans, putting that first round defeat way back in their memory. Half-time here at the SCG. 44 points the margin. We'll take a break, take a good look at the first half when we return. Oh, we won't?